Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back. You're watching the final best of 5, the ESET Masters season final number 2. This is very, very important, and these are two star-studded players. It's Arthur and Stardust. The winner of this best of 5 takes home a bit of money and gets themselves a good amount of points leading into the ESET Masters final, which is like has a prize pool of $20-something thousand. So a very important match on our hands. What do you think of the matches so far, or the game so far?
You know, it's been pretty crazy because Stardust looked totally unbeatable. Even against like MMA, who I thought would have been one of the favorites.
Yep.
Stardust 2-0 MMA in a period of like 10 minutes for both games combined. It was absolutely brutal. But Arthur is just dismantling them. I mean, yes, Stardust won the one game with the proxy 2 gates, but Arthur's been out-controlling Stardust in every engagement. Both game 1 and 3, the 2 games Arthur has won, Stardust has had the lead. He's had all the advantages. And then it comes to the engagement, it doesn't matter. Stardust could be ahead in supply, could be ahead in upgrades. And Arthur's like, oh, I'll just micro really good, and then I'm going to kill you. And it's like, oh.
Yep.
I guess if you micro twice as good, it's cool.
It's like Arthur, if you're losing in StarCraft and you're losing motivation, or you get behind and you lose motivation, Arthur might be a guy to watch. Because when he gets behind, or quote unquote behind, because behind is going to be different to a bunch of different people, because there's different aspects of being behind, like economy, army, tech, etc. Arthur's really good at maximizing the units he has and making impossible situations possible.
Yeah, that's pretty much the best way to say it. So efficient in every engagement is Arthur. Even making his probe do work for him.
Yep.
Already has stolen some minerals. Done some harassment. He's going to get away too. Gets away with a scar. He intentionally had the Zealot hit his probe once. Because he wants his probe to come home with a scar so he can tell stories. You know, like the grizzled veteran type idea.
Yes,
right?
like when he goes to the probe bars and girls are wondering what happened to his scars, he can make up a story of how he led a secret intel mission to be a spy and was able to convince the enemy that I don't know, that they were going to lose or something. I don't know. You know, that probe is probably better at making up a story than me. I'll leave him.
He probably is. He's seen some things, man.
I'm just explaining what he's going to do.
He's seen a land.
Yeah.
Where other probes are painted teal.
Oof.
Oof.
That's
crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, if you come back to this land of probes here and say, you know what, guys, I saw a probe that was painted teal. They're like, what's teal?
Yep.
Like
they can't even comprehend it. They're like, wait, I thought only red existed. And then in their mind, they're like, wait, that doesn't even make any sense in my head. And then they'll find out for themselves when eventually, well, maybe they'll find out.
Might not. They might never experience.
Might have to ask the stalker to tell them what it's like.
Yeah.
Tell them if it's really true.
The stalker hasn't even seen it yet for himself either. Uh-oh. Stalker might first witness. There it goes. Uh-oh. 2 stalkers and Zealot. The stalker, he tries to juke him.
A little bit of pathing thing.
Yeah, I think he was assuming, actually, I think he was assuming Stardust would stutter step.
I think it was Mothership Core a little bit south. Or is that a pylon?
I think he was assuming Stardust would stutter step in another direction, so he'd try to juke him.
He's going to try to get the weak stalker.
Ooh,
oh!
Poor weak stalker.
That's a great pickoff.
He does have 2-on-2 now, so he could win, except there's a Zealot coming in.
Robo behind this for
Arthur
Stardust.
in full retreat.
Arthur, does he have any additional tech or gateways or anything?
3 gateway Robo.
For Stardust, and then Arthur's 2 gateways.
Oh, yeah, Arthur has 3 gateways, exactly.
Okay.
So Arthur is the one who, in theory, should be pushing out more. Both players look like they may want to get Nexuses or maybe waiting for another warp in. Arthur is warping to more units here, so I don't think Stardust knows about this. This could be dangerous. Stardust is expanding. He does have a lot of sentries. He does not have a Mothership Core. He has never actually gotten one quite yet this game. Just relying on, you know, a lot of units, and this could go either way because if you look at the army values right now, Arthur is a little bit stronger, but great force fields can cut his army in half here.
Oh, be careful. Okay.
Ooh, he could have lost like 3 Zealots there easily.
Yep.
In fact, even though Arthur has a slightly stronger army, Stardust is a player with the sentries, and defending a ramp with sentries, the armies are big enough now. Force fields could be dominant.
Force fields, are they going to happen? There's one. Oh, great force fields there. Want to keep those stalkers back, keep your units back, don't take too much damage.
He's going to lose a sentry, but put some damage on a Mothership Core.
Nice target fire on that sentry.
Yeah.
That was pretty fancy.
There's a drive-by. There's 2 more force fields. 1 Zealot gets taken off for free, basically.
I don't know how efficient
Oh, he can do 2 more force fields.
Is Stardust being efficient enough here?
I mean, he hasn't been playing the range game that well. And
Yeah.
now Arthur's broken up. But he doesn't have a full-time overcharge yet either. Meanwhile, in his main base, there's a Mothership Core wrecking havoc. That's going to be dealt with. He's trying to push him back. A Time Warp goes down. Stardust needs more units because Arthur seems to have a lot of Stalkers here.
There's too much. I don't think Stardust is really respecting this. I mean, he's going to try to fend this off, but there's still so many Stalkers here. Stardust trying to take advantage. Force Field's going down. Zealot's getting a decent amount of damage done, but is that going to be enough?
Oh, the army sizes are looking closer and closer. The Mothership's been taken out. Another Stalker joins the fray from Stardust's side.
3 more Stalkers.
Arthur warps in 3 more. Neck and neck. Remember, the Mothership cores on both sides have been taken out.
Microing back the weakened Stalkers. Very nice micro from both these 2 players, but Arthur ultimately is going to have more units. Keep in mind, though, Stardust is on 2 bases. I'm not sure how much that matters at this point.
Yeah, the probe count is fairly low for both players.
Yeah.
In fact, it's actually Arthur who has the superior economy right now. Stardust forced back into the main.
Probe's got to run.
He's going to lose even some additional probes, yes. But if he can stabilize, remember, he can double build probes. So both players stabilize.
Oh, true. And he has that high ground advantage. Now, an Immortal being made back home for Arthur, which is interesting to me.
Yeah, it's interesting Arthur's warping that in as opposed to just focusing on constant gateway warping.
Oh, a Sentry to block the ramp. This Nexus
might
be
this
dead.
could be huge.
He's going to come down. There's a force field. Oh, Arthur, he's going to take him down. Stardust is trying to make this work, but he just doesn't have enough.
Not enough units for Stardust. Arthur poised to take down his best of 5.
Boom.
3-1. Stardust desperately trying to warp in what he has. Probes into action, but the last Stalker in low ground falls. Another one comes from the high ground. Another one warps in. That's 2 Stalkers, but there's 6 from Arthur. Additional reinforcements coming in from Arthur. Stardust in full retreat. Arthur not even going to stop to kill the Nexus. Going to continue to push up. Stardust down to a single unit. The supply is double for Arthur. Stardust GG's, and another game where I feel like Stardust had all the advantages. I feel they had almost the same armies. Stardust had better position. But he wasn't able to get the force fields quite perfectly.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to play, like, he kept losing units.
Ideally, like, that's a great spot to force field. It is. Like, it's a great positioning. He had a good amount of sentries, but every time he force fielded, he wasn't really taking advantage as much as he could have, because force fields, that's like, it's a lot of energy out of those sentries. And you only have a limited amount, so I feel like it would have been better to try to wait for like a Zealot and 2 Stalkers each time to run by, and then you take those out efficiently. Your force fields are good, and then you wait a little bit of time, and because time is on your side too. I mean,
yeah, it is. Arthur is just able to make those battles happen. Every time there's an engagement, Stardust has more before the engagement. Arthur comes out on top. He's the ultimate bringer of miracle engagements here. A very fearsome opponent is Arthur, someone to look out for.
Yeah.
And he's going to win the ESET Masters 2013 Season 2 Finals.
Sick. Awesome stuff there from Arthur. Taking out Stardust, too. Stardust is good.
Well, yeah, Stardust made MMA look like a bronze scrub, kind of, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
And if you missed that, guys, youtube.com/official MLGUSC2. Also, rebroadcast coming up next. But I think we might have a bit of time before the rebroadcast is up. No, we don't. Wow.
This is Lennox.
I forget how good Lennox is at his job. So if y'all want to ask questions in the chat before we go, that's perfectly fine. But then we're going to throw the rebroadcast up. We can talk about what's coming up for us.
Yep. So tomorrow, there's a tournament called the Stars War League. That, of course, is it has Nesty, it has Maru, the most recent WCS Korea champion. It has Parting, and it has Liquid Hero. So 4 of the top Korean players in the world, plus all the best Chinese players, and the best players from Southeast Asia, Taiwan. You've got Sen and Moonglade, etc.
Yep.
All those guys are in this tournament. And we're going to be starting at the quarterfinals tomorrow. The quarterfinals, I think the matchups are Nesty against Parting, Maxed against Sen. I want to say, you know what? I have him on. You can look him up.
Let me look in here.
If you go to the TL counter, it has him in that.
You're making